Hello, Capricorn. How are you? Welcome to March 2018. You know, this reading was like, God, can you guys catch a break? Like, for reals. You guys are so ready for everything to just be done, right? For whatever it is, the lawsuits, the custody battles, the work stuff, the relationship stuff. Like, can't we just all find peace? You know, and I know you guys just want peace so much. We have this Jupiter retrograde happening in Scorpio, and we've been hit with Scorpio energy a lot lately, right? We had, I can't even remember off the top of my head, but I mean, it's been like one Scorpio thing after the next, and it intensifies everything. So we're on our last leg of the Scorpio energy. This is what we call a detox. Jupiter retrograde, detoxing in Scorpio, allowing us to really reform and implement reform in our everyday, day-to-day life, you know, living things differently. And right now you're at a place where you are so ready to incur whatever costs, like I'll incur whatever costs I need in order to just get this thing out of my life. Whatever I gotta do. Like, you guys are normally the ones that are like, it's got to be about me, it's got to be about me. But now you're like, my spirit is evolved. And I am so just, you know, it's not important anymore. I'm tired of fighting. And what else did I say? Like, you're not necessarily in control of that sort of adversarial force, that situation or that person, right? So there's really not a lot you can do. And while you're not ready to just bend over and let someone walk all over you, certainly, absolutely not, but you are willing to maybe do a little bit more than you have been in the past, okay? It's not about winning, it's about peace, you know? Let's see. I want you to know, to have faith that no matter what, the universe will pay you back. So whatever needs to go out, have faith that it will come back to you, okay? So just putting that out there. In the comprehensive readings that I do, I am going to be clarifying the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Swords, which both came out. And, you know, I know you're ready to do whatever it takes. You know, I also pull the Devil, the Justice, and the Sun card. So there are some really heavy hitters that come in that comprehensive reading. And hopefully it will help actually provide more clarity for you. And that's one thing that a lot of people told me last month when I did the free ones, you know, that it just gave them a little bit more clarity, even though it wasn't specifically geared toward their situation. It just added extra layers of depth for them to help make decisions. So instead of spending like $100 on a private reading, you can for $5.99 get the comprehensive, and it will definitely give you some more meat to work with. So you guys are doing so great though. So great. And I'm happy to see all my Caps like feeling better. I have a lot of Capricorns in my life, and I'm like, okay, they're falling in love. They're having good relationships. They are at least not feeling so bogged down. And while they might be still dealing with stuff, it's like this whole attitude shift. So hopefully you guys are experiencing the same thing. I'm going to leave you with that. Let's go ahead and get started with the cards. Thanks so much. Bye. Hello, Capricorn. Let's get started. Six of Cups reverse came out. I know it looks upright for you, but it's reversed for me. I don't know what's going on, but this indicates either a need or a desire to break free from the past. It's an indication of how important it is to really live in the moment, right? Because the past doesn't really exist, especially if you're living it, you know, in kind of an emotional or an imaginative place. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, it doesn't serve you at this time, okay? I feel like maybe someone is going to try to reach out to you or try to contact you, and like there's maybe not an interest there, or maybe you are realizing how important it is for you to kind of get this really out of your life, okay? So this can be a very empowering place, very empowering card, or it could be one that tempts you to go back, or tempts you to feel nostalgic, okay? That came out in the Sagittarius card too, but it was upright. Right now, it's very important for you to be taking a very practical approach to life. It's important for you to make practical decisions. Emotions with this, now we'll see what else comes out. Obviously, I'm only speaking about the one card, but emotions might not really be serving you so well right now. And it is important for you to be more logical about things. Nine of Wands in the upright position. We've got this protectiveness aspect, this either desire or need to be careful. There's prudence included here as well. Slow steps forward, being protective about who you let in and who you talk to, who you allow on your ideas, on your goals, on your ambitions. There might really be a need for you to actually be very quiet right now, Capricorn. A need for you to be very, I'm not going to say isolated, because I don't think that that's, physically isolating is not necessarily the best thing for you right now, but rather let your ideas take shape first. Get them down on paper. Get the ball rolling before you begin to let others in on what you're doing. Okay? And the reason for that is I feel a little bit of an antagonistic vibe coming from somewhere. That's just an intuitive thing. I don't necessarily see that in the cards. Like someone, that's the thing with Capricorns in general. This is just kind of a lifelong thing that you guys have to deal with. People like to attach their cart to your horse. Is that the saying? Attach your wagon to your horse. They like to do that because it's easier for them. They kind of like Capricorns to do all the trailblazing, to do the exploring, to do the hard work for them, to get the systems in place for them so that they can just kind of easily come in and kind of take advantage. And not that they want to take advantage of you in a negative way, but they're just not really willing to work as hard, most likely. And right now, I don't like that. I'm not liking it. And I don't want to see you get taken advantage of. And I don't want to see you having someone try to, I don't know why the word's steal credit. Are they trying to steal credit for your work? Are they trying to steal credit for the good things that they've done in the relationship, but it's all kind of a product of what you've done? I'm not sure exactly, but keep your mouth closed. Only speak to those people that you feel truly, truly comfortable with, that you genuinely feel are in your corner and would never, ever try to take anything from you. I would even be careful around family members right now at this time too. If you have an idea, if you have a goal, if you have a new business, whatever it is, just put your head down, do the work, and just let it speak for itself. Right? Let the product speak for itself. Five of Pentacles, reversed. You are coming out of this wintry phase. You are. You are starting to warm up to possibility. And you have been in a state of scarcity, like many people, many signs. Emotional. Yeah, beautiful. We'll go with that. Emotional or even financial. You have been in this place of maybe even kind of being very, the word frugal, but it doesn't have to be with money. Frugal with love, frugal with energy, frugal with time, and really, like I said, being very careful about where you spend it. It's interesting that we kind of use in the U.S. We say we pay attention to something because our attention is like a form of currency, and we pay attention, right? Paying attention to only certain people, paying attention to only certain things to ensure that there's benefit there. And right now, I think you're figuring that out. And you're like, okay, I know what's good for me. I know what's not good for me. I know I need to cut ties here. I know I need to not think about this. I know. And look here, Eight of Wands. It's like the more and more you recognize this, and the more and more you are protective of the self, and the more and more you are protective of your goals and ambitions, the more likely they are to really come to fruition. You know? Eight of Wands is always a card of transition and change and movement. It's a huge signifier of movement. I often see this as a card that's associated with the Knight of Wands, being one about progress and adventure and going. For those of you who are looking to travel, this is a really good time to travel. This is a really good time for you to feel the wind, you know, on your back, and feel the universal energy current kind of pushing you forward, because there has been so much resistance, and now that resistance is just kind of dissolving. Hopefully it's dissolving. If you're still in the midst of stuff, I think in the next few months, that stuff isn't going to really bog you down anymore. It is dissolving, okay? It's not going to affect you. It's not going to come creeping back. It's not going to be showing up uninvited, you know. Eight of Wands. Let the universal current just take you where it needs to go. All right? Let's see. What else comes out here for Capricorn? See, I don't know, what is it about where friends and family? I just, I feel like a lot of people have a lot of opinions. Look at all the reversals. A lot of people have a lot of opinions. A lot of people think they know how to live your life better than you. A lot of people want to boost their own ego and find validation in convincing or getting you to do something a certain way. I don't know, whatever it is. I don't even see this as like your pride or your ego. I genuinely, like from the beginning of the thing, I was like, I even think that there's an outside force, right? There's an outside energy that is trying to pull you back. They absolutely do not want to see you succeed. Look, you're not really lost here. You know exactly what you want. You know exactly what you need. And whatever apparent crossroads in which you find yourself, you may find that you feel or that you perceive that you are stuck. You are not stuck. I know that you are trying very, very hard to keep everything peaceful. I know that you are trying very, very hard to make everybody happy, and you are willing to compromise. You are willing to give and take a little bit as needed, like it's okay, you're totally on board with that. Whatever you need to do to kind of make the situation go away, to an extent. This is not a self-sacrificial reading. I don't sense that you are like over-giving in any way, shape, or form. You know, you are trying to find peace and equality within the situation. Someone is making it very hard for you to do that. Someone is making it very hard because they're not willing to compromise in that way. They're not willing to negotiate in that way. And I will tell you one thing about my Capricorns, and I've known a lot of Capricorns in my life. And they, again, I always use my boss as an example. And I think I mentioned this in a couple other readings in the past. And he's a, very successful commercial real estate investor, multi-millionaire. And he always says, if the deal isn't entirely lopsided in my favor, I simply don't do the deal. And there is that element of courage of walking away from something, even though I know you don't want to. you are prepared to do that. You are prepared to do whatever it takes to preserve yourself. You are prepared to do whatever it takes to ensure that everyone is happy and to ensure that like this just starts running more smoothly. I know you want things to run smoothly. You know, Saturn in Capricorn wants it to be like a machine. And it hasn't been like that. You know, it hasn't. And I think there are still loose ends that need to get tied up. Whatever this Six of Cups is. I'm going to clarify this and this and this and this all in the comprehensive reading so that we can get a really good handle on what it is you're really up against, okay? And what is this kind of force that seems to be placing you in this position, whether it's a person, one single person, or whether it's just like opportunities that aren't coming through or whatever it is. And I feel like the time is closer than you think for things to be gone, for this issue to be gone, okay? Let me grab a sip of coffee really quick. Okay, what else? You're kind of trapped between winter and summer is what I'm feeling. Trapped between winter and summer. And not in like the pretty spring months when things are starting to bloom and the air kind of has a little bit more warmth to it than normal. But you're kind of trapped in that place of winter where the snow starts melting and everything is muddy and dirty. You know, like your cars have mud all over them. There's always that salt and stuff all over the roads. The snow is kind of like in patches, but it's not like pretty fluffy snow. It's like that icy, dirty snow. That's kind of where I feel like you're at, right? Not quite into spring and summer, but not quite in winter either because it's still warming up and, you know, Five of Swords, yeah, the toxic thing, the cycle, the cyclical behavior, someone coming in and being antagonistic towards you. This is something that I think you just can't shake. You know, you're so ready to shake this and just, it's an outside force for sure. Capricorn doesn't like to linger here. It's not their vibe. You know, whether this is a health issue that just keeps recurring, whether this is a person, whether it's a problem with a client at work, it just won't go away. It's like a gnat that just you can't kill. If you were to kill it, you kind of self-sabotage yourself, right? You sabotage your own progress. That's why this Two of Swords is here, I think. It's like you are trying so hard to be logical and practical. Like I said in the beginning, now is not a time for emotion, to be driven by emotions. Now is a time to be driven by practicality and logic. And you're trying so hard to do that. But I know it's just like killing you inside, right? Trying so hard to do what you gotta do just to make the situation, like to just diffuse everything. And this person is just not on board with that. I think they enjoy the toxicity. And if you've been watching my weekly bumps that I do every week, I do a collective consciousness reading where I simply talk about what we're going through as a whole, as a collective, right? And that has been a theme over and over and over, is there is this massive separation going on between the conscious and the unconscious. The people who have taken the last few years, and I'm going to actually place it more in the 8-year time frame. I'm going to be doing a video on Uranus and Aries transiting into Uranus into Taurus. But back in 2010, you know, Uranus entered into Aries, and Uranus is a sign of a planet of fragmentation and just like kind of ripping everything apart and randomization and spontaneity. And when we apply that concept to the self, which is Aries, right? The self, the I am. Well, who are you? Uranus comes in, it's like, yeah, who are you? And it forces you to get into that place of I'm the work me, I'm the mom or the dad me, I am the me, I'm the meditative me, I'm the fun, outgoing, extroverted me. And it's like all these versions of who we are got tested and they had their moments to shine, and you know, this is what's happening is people are going to get stuck there. They're going to get stuck in this fragmented version of themselves. And if they're not going to get stuck there, then they're going to be the people that learn how to reassemble themselves and begin to manifest things in really powerful and huge, like in ways of like huge jumps, right? Because Uranus doesn't like things to be, you know, okay, like a slow upslope. It's very not Capricorn-like. It's not like a smooth upslope. It's like high peaks and low valleys very, very quickly. And that's what Uranus and Taurus is going to do. You're either going to manifest a lot of great things all at once, or you're going to be manifesting based on little fragments of yourself. So how would you prefer to really do that? And this is someone that is still a fragmented version of themselves. It's still a version of, like, they don't know what the heck life is about. They don't know who the heck they are. They don't know what they're seeking. They don't even know why they're fighting at this point. They're just fighting for the sake of satisfying some ego-driven desire for validation. And unfortunately, it's at your expense, right? So again, clarifying all of these in the comprehensives. Let's see kind of where this goes. Let's see what else comes out. Okay. Yep. You just don't know what to do. Reverse, reverse, reverse. You just don't know what to do. I know that you have invested so much. And I know you have tried so hard. You know, and the Seven of Pentacles is that place, and when it's in the reverse, is that place of like throwing your hands up in the air and being like, what now? And what was that all for? I'm trying, you know, and you're literally trying everything and you're continually falling short because this person's expectations are not defined. This person's limits, you know, it's not like they've come out and said, okay, well, once this happens, then I'll be happy. It's like, no, because once a good thing happens to them, then they're still not happy. And it's just that continual bottomless pit of energy, you know? Ace of Cups reversed. Look, there doesn't quite seem to be reconciliation happening anytime soon. Again, going to clarify this as well. Let's just move on because I want to pull out the remaining three. Hopefully it will give me a more context to that. I feel like the Ace of Cups reversed is again another indication of that bottomless pit. It just seems to always be unsatiated. Let's see what else. If anything is going to want to fall out yet. There we go. We got 3 and the 6 of coins. See, beautiful card of Capricorn. Oh, love this. This is the best way to end this reading. Awesome. The Lovers coming out. And this is even what I'm saying with the fragmentation of the self, right? Your divine masculine and your own divine feminine. This is the card of duality. You know, it's why it represents Gemini. Gemini is the twins, the two sides of the same coin. Our divine masculine, our divine feminine, our dark side, our light side, you know, coming together in a very perfect union. If you are interested in this reading in terms of a romantic capacity, this I actually, not for the first time, but normally I see this as like a union, but this is not a union reading. You know, I don't see reconciliation of differences, but I see this as you walking down a new path. And one that is more conducive to the unity of your masculine and feminine inside. And this is more internal than it is external, okay? And look at how beautiful. See, the universe is going to ensure that everything works out. And I know that's such a generic thing to say, and it can often be frustrating when it continually seems like it goes against us and continually works against our favor. But the 6 of Coins promises that you will be repaid. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, maybe not even in the next 6 months, but eventually you are going to end up on top. Okay, Queen of Coins is capable of manifesting absolutely anything and everything that she wants. That's like a gift of Capricorn. It's your birthright. It's just what you have been given because you just were born at that time. Okay, and I do feel like your ability to climb that ladder, the social, career, whatever ladder it is you're climbing, you know, is going to ensure that you do see this through successfully. Okay, so again, I'm going to be clarifying probably a lot of the cards in the comprehensives. I had such amazing feedback, guys, and I know I'm saying this in every single video, but to be honest with you, there's so many layers that come out when I start pulling out more cards. And it's like that thing, if you don't feel like a need to spend like 70 or 100 or 150 bucks on a private reading, you can get one for like, I'm only charging $5.99, and it's really a lot more detail, and hopefully will speak to you in a much more specific way to help you have more specific answers. Okay, and that was the feedback that I had, was like, thank you Jane, it provided so much clarity. Okay, so that's the thing. So I hope to see you there. If not, then I will absolutely see you guys next month for the April readings. All right, thank you guys so much. Take care.